Hey everybody, it's John. I don't know if you've ever noticed or heard me talk about movies, some of my favorite movies that I've ever watched. And of course, the Friday the 13th movies. And this is the Friday the 13th Part 3, NECA's Ultimate Jason. I've seen this figure and I couldn't resist. It's crazy that this is the first one of these I've picked up and reviewed. But as you can see, it has the poster from the original movie. It's got this lenticular box image on it here, so it looks like it's in 3D. It says New Dimension and Terror, Friday the 13th 3D. On the side of the box here, you got Jason busting out of the package. On the back here, it says Friday the 13th. And Idyllic Summer turns into a nightmare of unspeakable horror for yet another group of naive co-eds ignoring Camp Crystal Lake's bloody legacy. One by one, they fall victim to the maniacal Jason who stalks them at every turn. As you can see, they have kind of like a setup of the barn where a lot of the action in this movie takes place. It includes a machete, a pitchfork, a harpoon gun, a knife, an axe, a fire poker, a wrench, and 2 interchangeable heads. And then they include this little flap that opens up. And here you can see Jason in this cool little diorama here, where he's standing on what looks like the steps to maybe one of the cabins with a bloody machete in his hand. And over here you have Jason lying dormant in his box with all of his weapons and accessories he comes with. There's quite a few in here. And he looks pretty amazing. I like that I can see his eyes already right through the box. Anyway, give me a second here, and I'll open him up, and we'll take a closer look at the NECA's Jason Part 3. Alright, here we have one of my favorite movie iconic monsters or villains. Jason, before he's outside of his package. As you can see, he comes in this really highly detailed shirt. It has some blood splattering on it. He has blood on his neck, which I'll explain in a little bit. He's got some grime on his hands because, you know, he lives out there in the woods all alone. He's got these dirty, grimy pants on, the little blood stains on him. Really nicely detailed pant legs. They look great. Even his shoes have a little bit of discoloration on them. He's got little silver on the eyelets. Nice amount of detail on this guy. I like all the grime is on him. Great wrinkles on the back. And of course there's a look at his face. You can see his eyes through the mask, which is really cool. All the holes are punched out in the mask. He has a couple of little silver spots on there as well. You can see where the straps connect to it. And underneath, you can take the mask off, and you have a reveal of the very grotesque, mutated looking head of Jason Voorhees. It is a different color than his neck, which is kind of odd. It's not really noticeable with the mask on, but when you take the mask off, you can definitely see that there is a difference in skin tone. But the shading work on his face is very nice. Brings out all the details. You can even see his teeth, his nostrils. Each individual eye looks great. The odd bumps and veins and growths and his misshapen ear. I do have a little bit, you can see, of color left over from the strap on the top of his head, a little bit on the side of his head here. His other ear is kind of normal, but you know, other than that, he looks pretty good. He does have a head that goes around, not a lot. Well, it has a little bit of give to it. And his shoulders move out about to here. And they can go all the way around if you want to force them to. They are kind of tight. And that's about as much movement on his arms as you're going to get. He does have a hinged elbow, which is kind of nice. And his wrist rotates and is not hinged. Well, it does have a little ball joint, so it does move around a little bit. And there's not a whole lot going on underneath here. Yeah, he has a little bit of a waist to swivel, and it does rotate. His legs can go out to here, which is a lot more than I thought they would for Mr. Jason here. And they go out about here, and they can go back a bit too. The seat of his pants are pretty soft, and his knees are ball jointed, and they look like they swivel as well. And then his feet kind of move, but you're not going to get a whole lot out of him. This one's a lot looser than the other one, but it shouldn't be really any big deal. Now the blood on his neck is from when he himself gets attacked finally, and I believe it's the axe to the head that he gets hit with. And I don't think it's going to fit in there, but again, he comes with a second head, which is the blood-covered head, and with the gash in it, which I don't know if you can... There was one version of this where you could get the axe in his head, but it don't look like it's going to fit. It would have been kind of cool to see him walking around with the axe in his head, but the mouth is different. He looks a little anguished. His eyes are a little different. So it's not the exact same head, as well as the mask also has that little bit of damage on it. And you can see this mask is very well detailed for such a tiny little piece. They put a lot of time into this. So his head is on a peg, so I don't know how easy it's going to come off. Oh, pretty good. And then you can take your other head and work it on there. And then you have your bloodied up Jason, where you can see the blood matches now. Looks like it's running from his face down his neck and into his shirt. And you can replace his mask. Pretty easy. And you just pull the straps down in the back a little bit, and it fits and lines up with his eyes extremely well. And again, like I said, he comes with a ton of weapons. So here's a pitchfork. All these implements he uses in the movie. I wish his wrists were hinged. That's really all I can say. He looks like he's got a choking hand. And this is his gripping hand, so he can hold the pitchfork. One thing, if I doubt NECA would ever watch any of my videos, but if they ever do, one thing they need to do is we need some generic camp counselors or some people for Jason to go after. I mean, I don't really have anything in my collection that's in his scale that he can really even attack. That won't look kind of silly. I mean, you could do like a Jason versus He-Man or something like that, but it would be nice if they did some camp counselors for us. Oh, don't mind my arm there. He also comes with a fireplace poker. It has some really nice details and shape to it. And now he also has his harpoon gun, which I believe is the scene where the kind of goofy outcast that likes to do pranks on everybody. I think got almost these little bands that fire it off. Is wearing a scuba gear outfit, has this, and is wearing the hockey mask. And he runs into Jason, and Jason uses this on him, and it's the first time he gets his mask. He doesn't get his mask until the third movie, if you've never watched all the earlier Jason movies. So his iconic mask he doesn't even get until number 3. But everything so far fits in his hand really well. And then he's got a wrench that is bloodied from use. That fits in his hand as well. He's got a little knife that has some blood details on it. It also does fit in his hand very nice. And the axe right here, that it would be nice. Probably would have been cool if it had a little bit of blood on it to match the head wound. It does have some wood graining in the handle, which is cool, but he does hold the axe extremely well. And of course his signature weapon, which is this machete, does not have any blood on it either. It would have been, I think, nice. So it looks like he's just getting ready to go for a fresh kill with his machete, possibly. I really like this figure. I'm glad I finally got to pick one of these up. The only other Jason figure I have in my collection is the old Movie Maniacs McFarlane one, who I love the shine and to his beat up machete and all the blood work and the chrome. It's a cool blade. It fits nicely in his hand. This is probably one of my favorite looks for Jason. At this point he's dead and a zombie, and takes on a whole new life, and Kane Hodder takes on the role at this point. Hopefully they'll do a few more of these. This is, like I said, number 3. I think they put out a Jason number 6 that I don't have, haven't ever picked up yet. I'm just kind of curious. I want to see if we can work this. Oh, it's tight in there. He's got quite the grip, and he doesn't want to give it up. Come on, Jason. Give me your blade. Wow. How'd I ever get that in there? Hold on, I'm going to have to take him off for a second and see if I can get a better grip. Let go. There it is. Alright, now that we forced him to let go of his favorite weapon, it looks like it's probably not going to fit in this Jason's hand. Oh, it does. So he can hold this other machete, which is slightly larger than this one. That's kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe he'll have to keep that one and add it to this guy. His machete seems kind of small to me. But I think he's pretty awesome all around. So good job, NECA, for making these figures that are affordable and really well detailed, and the likeness is great. Like, this guy doesn't really have any articulation other than cuts at his legs and his elbows and his shoulders. He's pretty much just has this hack and slash pose. Well, this one you can do a lot with. Which, if we had, some teenagers or some counselors or something for him to go after, it would be a lot more fun. I hope NECA maybe someday gives us like a camp counselor pack. They don't have to even match the movies. They can just be generic, just something to display him with. I think would be a lot of fun. Anyway, I like this figure, and you can pick him up pretty cheap from NECA or Amazon or eBay. I think I paid $30 for him. The box itself is really cool. All the accessories are nice. The extra head, the different masks, the different moments you could probably relive if you're really into shooting figures with all of his extras that he got here. It's pretty cool. Anyway, if you enjoyed this at all, go ahead and click that like button. Let me know in the comments. I'm curious at how many other people out there have a Jason collection, and if you do, how many do you have? Like, sadly, I only have 2, and he's like he might be my second favorite monster besides Frankenstein. I mean, he does have that Frankenstein kind of style to him, the silent monster. And subscribe for more, and thank you again for watching, folks. Bye.